So I have this floor plan. I've drawn up a 1 point and I've shaded it. So this is my understanding of that room in 1 point perspective. I am ready now to go into a 2 point. I always set up a 2 point drawing with a line on the back of the page. I want to leave at least half the page in front of it. So that I have room for furniture. This room we said was 10 feet high. So this line I'm going to say is 10 feet high. And I'm going to set up a ruler by coming halfway through and giving myself a 5 foot. I'm going to put a dot at 2.5 feet and I'm going to put a mark below and above it. So this is going to be 2 and 3. This is going to be 1 and 4. I'm going to move my 1 and my 2 because they are a little bit cramped. I'm going to come between my 5 and 10. I'm going to put a dot in the middle. That's 7.5. So below that's going to be 7 and above that's going to be 8. So halfway between 8 and 10 is 9 and halfway between 5 and 7 is 6. And that sets my ruler for the drawing. Take your 5 foot level and draw a horizontal line parallel to the top of the page, straight to the right of the page and straight to the left of the page, and go all the way to the edge on the right and make a right vanishing point. Go all the way to the edge of the page on the left and make a left vanishing point. This is your eye level. This is your room height. Draw from each vanishing point to the 0. And then continue those lines into the room. I like to take my pencil and give myself a point to aim for, and then draw. Draw from the top, the 10, to the left vanishing point and the right vanishing point. Let those continue off the page. So this is your ceiling, your right wall, your left wall, and your floor. This plan says that 2 point is going to be looked at from this corner. Notice that when you stand over in this point and you're looking to this corner, you're going to get a 2 point perspective. And everything that goes off in this direction, like this edge of the carpet and this edge of the ottoman and this wall, are going to go to vanishing point right. And everything going this way, so this edge of the carpet and this edge of the table and this edge of the fireplace and this at front of the armoire is going to go to vanishing point left. And this chair is going to be drawn in a 1 point perspective because it's flat to the picture plane. We've drawn our 10-foot ruler right here in this corner. So this line along here is going to vanishing point right, and it exists right here along the floor and right here along the ceiling. I'm going to take my 10-foot line, lay my pencil at the 10, pinch it at the 0, and make that 10 feet come along this line right here. And say this is going to be 10 feet into the room. And I'm going to do it again for the other side. I'm going to draw a line from the right vanishing point through the 10 and out into the room, and from the left vanishing point through the 10 and out into the room. If I need to go to the 10 and then take my pencil and draw towards wherever it's going to go, the edge of the paper, then do that. So now I have a box here on the floor, which is 10 by 10. Off the paper somewhere, I don't know where, these are going to cross. I could take another sheet of paper and I could lay it down and I could figure out where they're going to cross and draw a line from there to the 0. Or I could just imagine where those two are going to come together. It's not that far off my page. I'm going to go from the 0 out towards between those two lines. And I'm going to connect these two 10-foot points as well to find the center of my room. If I draw a line from the center towards the vanishing point right, where it hits the wall is 5 feet. And if I draw away from vanishing point right in the same trajectory, where it hits this line is 5. And I can do that over here towards the left vanishing point. And out in that same trajectory, this direction. If I now finish these X's, this is a 5 by 5 foot box. This is a 5 by 5 foot box. This is a 5 by 5 foot box. And this is a 5 by 5 foot box. So I can X from this to that, and from this to that, and from this to that, and this to that. And that gives me this point here, which is 2.5 feet from the edges. And this point right here coincides with this X right here. So in my floor plan, this has been X'd across, and this box right here is a 5-foot box, and that is this box right here. So this X in the middle of it is 2.5 right here. I should be able to connect this 2.5 right here and this 2.5 right here on their way to right vanishing point. And these two lines should be on their way to right vanishing point. And these two on their way to left. And these two should connect on their way to left. So I've got a nice floor grid drawn here that's a really good setup for a 2-point perspective. This is 2.5, this is 7.5, this is 2.5, and this is 7.5 from that back corner. The carpet in this drawing crosses this 2.5X and moves towards vanishing point right. So this line that I drew right here between this 2.5X and that 2.5X is the edge of this carpet right here. It goes a little longer out on either side, so I can extend it a little that way and a little this way. It comes into the room across this X here and this X here, which go towards vanishing point left, through this X and that X and this X and that X. So these two X's here and these lines here are going to connect those inside lines of the carpet. The outside lines go beyond. So this should come this way a little bit from that and away from vanishing point left. This should come beyond that a little bit and away from vanishing point left into the room. So I'm establishing the edge of my carpet. This needs to come forward a little bit. This distance here should be greater than this distance over here. And the front of my carpet, both of these lines come in front of this X right here. So I'm going to say this is going to come out this way a little bit and go towards vanishing point right. And I'm going to come even further out for this edge and let this come out like this. This feels a little bit thick back in there. I want to get my armoire back in that corner. So I'm going to squeeze this up just a little bit.